Hello everyone, thank you for joining us tonight. It's very honored to be here to share my perspectives and some information about play-based pedagogy in early childhood education. I'm Wenting Li, you can call me Wen, okay? And I will explain what is play and how children can learn in their play, okay? I know that when we talk about play-based learning, different parents may have different opinions. Some people may concern that focusing too much on play would distract their children's learning, while others are open-minded. They want to learn more about play-based learning. Okay, and I think to address these concerns, I will explain this topic from these 6 aspects. Okay, let's go to the role of play in learning. Firstly, I want to mention that in the early years learning framework for Australia represents that play is a crucial component and effective approach to achieving children's development. Maybe this description is a little bit abstract. Let's take an example. Okay, look at this real playful scene in kindergarten. A group of children work together to pour water into different containers, right? And just this simple experience will exercise children's different ability, such as physical ability, their cognitive ability, and social relationships. Why, more specifically, the action of pouring water into different containers actually exercises their eyes and hands coordination ability, right? And when they are willing to find out why the water is pulled out of the container, their problem-solving capability is also developed, and their ability to stabilize their emotion is also promoted. Okay. Actually, this example supports the view of Jean Piaget, who is a famous representative of developmental theory. Jean Piaget's play theory maintains that children could be free to play and explore because knowledge can be actively constructed when children play with peers or play alone. Moreover, Jean Piaget divided children's play into different types, such as functional play, symbolic play, and play with rules. And in the process of pouring water into different containers, we may find that children's function play and symbolic play are both developed, right? And this experience is also the practice of sociocultural theory. Lev Vygotsky is another representative of this sociocultural theory, and he developed the zone of proximal development. It highlights the significance of social interaction and adult support in children's learning and play. And more specifically, children's communication and empathetic abilities are improved when they communicate with each other about the completion of this play task, right? And when children play water with their peer, they will share their feelings with each other. And when they pour the water out of the container, I think they may work together and to find a way to solve this problem. And at this moment, their problem-solving ability is promoted. And this process will contribute to their self-identity and knowing each other very well. Okay, and then although there is no doubt that play is held in high regard in our early childhood education, we still have to grapple with some challenges. I think there are 2 main aspects. The first one is limited play resources, and the second one is parental concerns and misconceptions about play. Okay, regarding the limited play resources, because of the space and the time constraints, it is impossible to equip children with every play object they are eager to. Making full use of environmental natural resources and recycling of available resources are both the solutions to address this challenging. For example, cardboard is a very common material in our kindergarten, and as an educator, we often use this material to build up a cardboard castle for our children to play. And meanwhile, we always encourage children to use leaves as their bookmarks. Okay, and I think this experience aligns with the one of the principle in early years learning framework, which encourages educators and children focus more on environmental sustainability. These experiments stimulate their intrinsic autonomy and the urgency of protecting their environment, right? And regarding the parental concerns, I think the most persuasive way to solve this challenge is to organize a parent and children observation activity, providing our parents with an immersive environment to observe how their children learn in a play-based setting. Okay. My personal philosophy on play is children as co-constructors, teachers as guide. Children construct their understanding and identity, which aid their future learning. And to translate this philosophy into practice, I committed to being an observer or a guide in our teaching process. For example, when a child raises a question about "Teacher, why leaves fall?" Rather than telling them the principle directly, I prefer to guide them go into nature and to collect different leaves and to observe the differences between leaves on trees and leaves that have fallen on the ground. Surprisingly, the children compare the yellow leaves to their grandfather or grandmother and compare the gray leaves to themselves. Look, children explore the answer by themselves in the play process. Okay, and I would intentionally let children help me to build the learning environment in our classroom. For example, I would set up a discovery corner in the classroom and record their surprising discoveries in this discovery corner by drawing, by writing, by speaking, by taking photos every week. In such a learning environment, children can draw upon their skills and knowledge attained in their prior experience to conduct their future life and learning. Okay. I think a successful play-based learning environment should have three key characteristics. The first one is a secure physical environment. The second one is a supportive social relationships. And the third one is a continuous playtime. Okay. Firstly, regarding the secure physical environment. Okay, for example, when children explore cooking, we set up a smart kitchen rather than using a real kitchen. This prevents potential harm from hazards like fire or sharp objects, right? And meanwhile, children can safely enhance their sensory perceptions and motor skills by stirring and pretending to cook. And this aligns with Quality Area 3 in the National Quality Standard, which emphasizes providing safe, suitable, and diverse physical experience. Okay. The second one is supportive social relationships. Okay, positioning teachers as guides and peers and as collaborators. The early years learning framework highlights the importance of respectful and reciprocal relationship. Educators should guide rather than direct play. For instance, if children are building a Lego bridge to hold trucks, teachers should encourage them to observe the real trucks and reflect on their size, right? And intervening only when necessary. Additionally, peer collaboration must be fostered. encouraging children to express feelings and interact positively. For example, during role play, children naturally share emotions and express support through actions like clapping and hugging, right? Okay. The third one is continuous playtime. Remember, kids need time. A 45 minutes uninterrupted play allows children to immerse themselves in their world, to explore, discover, and reflect. For instance, when children observe how ants move, they will gather together to observe. However, if they are interrupted at this moment, their thinking and interaction will be also interrupted. So, therefore, an uninterrupted play for children is very important. It will lead to their resilience, agency, and passion. Okay. In summary, I would like to say play plays an important role in each child's belonging, being, and becoming. And in playful context, children are free to construct their identity and knowledge that contribute to their learning. In play-based learning, children can attain physical, social, and emotional as well as multi-dimensional development, right? And most important, educators grow together with children by creating learning environment, guiding their behaviors, and collaborating together. My dear parents, I would like to say please rest assured that we are committed to protecting your children's healthy and happy growth. If you need any help, please know we are always be there. Thank you very much. Finally, I sincerely thank you for your listening and attending. Thank you very much.